I was actually in Thailand.
Okay.
It was right before I entered a 10-day Vipassana silent meditation retreat. And my body coming back home to Asia, it was like my intuition was screaming at me, like, this is where you're supposed to be right now. This is where the inspiration, this is where the mentorship that I've been seeking and not finding is going to be hiding. And so that inspired me to make the investment into coming here. So I knew I was interested in bamboo, and I was looking into how I could go about learning that. I know I'm an experiential learner, right? So I'm not interested in returning to the academy or pursuing any type of degree like that. I want practical, hands-on experience. But then after some in-depth digging, I finally saw Bamboo Bootcamp. And of course, it being set sa Pilipinas, I was much more interested because that's where I would be doing my work, and this is where I can set up base. And I want to be, of course. So my background, my degree is called Decolonial Connections. So kind of studied the relationship specifically between the US and the Philippines, and looking at how we can disrupt colonial legacies that take place both internally and materially. So bamboo is the perfect decolonial vehicle for that. So that's kind of why I was so excited about it, and then seeing how you engage with the matisalog and reclaiming the means of production to stay within our country in general, it was all super appealing to me. So it was a no-brainer. My previous job, I was working at a design build school called Yestermorrow in Vermont. And I was there as an intern and apprentice for 7 months. So they host a lot of classes, mostly about a week, some longer. So I was doing a lot of support, a lot of class prep and cleanup, material setup. So going to the lumber yard, milling it to size, and making sure it was ready for the class. So I definitely intense experiences of community. That's not foreign to me, but getting to come here and be the student and not just working, as well as getting to be here with all fellow Filipinos, was a really cool experience. Plugging into the network that's already existing here was my main primary drive in coming, as well as familiarizing myself with the materials. But so my general outlook in life is I want as fat a tool belt as possible of future-proof trades and natural building, and so specifically with bamboo, which is such a sustainable and perfect ancestral material for us, just made a lot of sense to add that feather in my cap too. Well, it's been such a pleasure to be nestled in these mountains and getting to gaze at the beautiful talon every day, being well fed, the camaraderie between group mates, and the non-pedestal that Jed and you and the staff don't place themselves on, makes them very approachable and easy to connect with, which I appreciate as well. So it's a tie between connections and getting just a deeper, full spectrum understanding of the plant, right? From growing, from all of the different treatment methods, from the political landscape of bamboo in the Philippines, and then also the hands-on build. One thing that comes immediately to mind for me, based on my other, deep community experiences, is an intensive on group dynamics, right? So how to work both within small teams, and those small teams changing day by day, and then also the dynamic of the group as a whole, and the various factions between. So that's always really interesting to me, to see how people operate. And comments I keep hearing again and again is that people feel more open than they have been in years, and just within the special alchemy of both the work that we're doing and its connection to the land and this place, and getting to work with the matisalog, and also with just how that openness is contagious, So that's one part. And then the second part of how I would describe this workshop, just super inspiring and grassroots, in a couple words. In architect Ning's words, the foundation the consciousness that all of this is being built on really resonates with me. And so it's something that I would be happy to lend my energy to. And that's something that I'm very choosy about, because my energy is my greatest asset and I have a lot of it. Like, there was a moment I was feeling a bit down after an afternoon, or like a couple of little things happened and I was just feeling annoyed with a couple of people. And then like I walked back and was planning to just like be alone. But Kuya Mike was like, no, like insisting that I come hang out, and like gave me a beer. And then we were just talking and they like got me to tell them my whole life story. And I was chatting with them for like hours, and it was so sweet, and it just completely like made my night.